What's up, everybody? Big Swede here once again. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone is doing well in these crazy COVID-19 times. I myself have been working from home, teleworking for the last month and a half. Now, one of the added benefits of teleworking is I'm home, and I've got extra time to knock out projects around the house that I've kind of been putting off to the side. One of those projects, continuation of my smart home series, we're going to be installing some Nest Learning Thermostats. I wish I would have done this back in the fall before the winter. Probably would have saved myself some money on heating oil this winter, but I digress. Now, I recently found a really good deal on Home Depot for these. Unfortunately, they're not running it anymore, but timing, I just lucked out and I caught it. Normally, these things run for $250 a pop. Home Depot was running a sale where you could get one for $199, $50 off, or if you bought a 2-pack, you could get them for $350. So I basically saved myself $150 buying that 2-pack. And then I decided to get one of the cheaper Nest E thermostats, and I'll kind of explain that here in a minute. But yeah, saved myself a good deal of money finding that deal. I just lucked out. So, always shop around, look for the best deals. Now, the way my house is set up, there is 3 heating zones in the house. And there's a thermostat on each one. So one for each floor. Upper floor, main floor, and then down here in the basement. And then the AC was kind of put in after the fact, so there's a separate thermostat for the AC. So all in all, 4 thermostats throughout the house. Now, the one for the AC and the one for the main floor heat, I decided I wanted to go with the Nest Learning Thermostats here because they look a little bit nicer. They're pretty sexy looking. Nice glass front, the metal ring around the side. They look really nice. So for the main floor, I wanted to have those really nice looking ones. For the upstairs heat, the thermostat is in my master bedroom. Didn't really care as much about the looks of that one, just the functionality. So I decided to save myself a little bit of money and go with the Nest E for that. Now that leaves the 4th thermostat, the basement heat. I don't really change the temperature on that one. The heat's only running in the winter, and I have it set to the same temperature all the time. I don't ever adjust it. So I thought it was a little bit of overkill going with one of these for that. So what I did is down here there's a really old school thermostat, one of the sliding lever ones. So when I changed the one upstairs, which is a digital thermostat, I'm just going to take that one down and bring it down here and hook it up. That way I've got a little bit nicer thermostat down here, but still not overkill of a smart thermostat. Maybe in the future I'll put one of them down here as well, but for now this will work just fine. Alright, so we'll do a quick unboxing just to show you what's all included in the kit. It's a very simple install. Most people are going to be able to do this themselves. As with any home improvement project though, if you're unsure, you're not comfortable messing with electrical wires and stuff like that, call a professional, have them do it. It's not very difficult, shouldn't cost a lot of money, but as I said, most people, you can knock this out yourself. Alright, let's get in it. Alright, here we have the Nest Learning Thermostat. As far as contents of the box, the only difference between this and the cheaper Nest E is the Nest E is not going to come with the included screwdriver that this one does. So here we have the base unit. This is your display and how you change everything. Really, really nice looking, as I said. Underneath that, you're going to have your literature, your instructions, whatnot. And then below that, you're going to have your base plate that you're going to hook your wires up to. The nice little included screwdriver here and the screws that you're going to use to mount it to the wall. Underneath that, you will have a base plate. You may or may not need to use that depending on how the wall behind your existing thermostat looks. I ended up using it for all of my installs. Alright, so the next step in this is going to be turning off power to your heating and cooling system. You definitely don't want to be messing around with wires while they have power to them. Alright, the next step is going to be removing your old thermostat. Check yours. It might have tabs like this one does. Some have screws. But once you get it open, take a picture of how your wires are hooked up, just in case you need to hook it back up again in the future. You know where everything was hooked up. Then you're going to unscrew your terminals to remove the wires from the terminal board. Mine is a 2-wire system, just a red and a white. Now you'll notice there is a jumper there between RH and RC. Older thermostats need to have that jumper, but you do not need to install that jumper on the Nest. It is internally jumpered. All right, now remove the base plate of your old thermostat from the wall. Now, in the literature for the Nest thermostat, there are stickers, little sticker labels that you can put on your wires. Most cases, your wires are going to be color-coded to match the terminal that they're going on, but not always. So, always good to label your wires so you know where they go if you have to take it off. All right, next up, you're going to get your new Nest base plate and slide the wires through the hole in the center and attach it to the wall with the included screws. Now, the nice thing about this Nest base plate is you can see at the top there is an included bubble level. So very easy to tell if this thing is installed level, get a nice install. Next up, you're going to take your wires and stick them into the appropriate terminals. As I said here, we're going into RH. You do not need to jumper that RH and RC. It is internally jumpered, and then we'll hook our W wire into the W1 terminal. At this point, you want to tuck any excess wires back into the wall. And then you can grab your Nest unit, plug it in, and turn your power back on, and the system will then run through setup. So first thing, it's going to ask you for your language. And then it's going to have you connect to your Wi-Fi. I'll skip that. Once it is connected, it is going to check for any software updates and do any necessary downloads and installs for software updates. After it has installed the update, it'll restart and then walk you through the rest of your setup and test of the system. At that point, it's going to ask you if you want to connect it to your Nest account, which you should, so you can control it through your Nest app and your Google Home app. So you just put your entry key into your Nest app on your phone, and you're good to go. You're connected. At this point, your setup is complete, and you're good to go to adjust your temperature. And if you hook it up to your Google Home account, you can then use your voice assistant to change your temperature. Hey Google, set the downstairs heat to 72 degrees.
Okay, setting downstairs heat to 72 degrees.
Hey Google, set the downstairs heat to 68 degrees.
Okay, setting downstairs heat to 68 degrees.
All right, at this point, it's just repeating the same process for any additional thermostats you want to install. Here I'm installing the Nest for the air conditioning, and then moving on to the master bedroom for the install of the Nest E. Now, the Nest E installation is pretty much the same. You just have a little bit less options to choose from. Hey, Google, set the upstairs heat to 68 degrees.
Sure, setting upstairs heat to 68 degrees.
Hey Google, set the upstairs heat to 65 degrees.
Sure, setting upstairs heat to 65 degrees.
Alright guys, so there you go, the install of the Nest Learning Thermostat. As I said, pretty simple install. Took me a couple of hours to do all of the thermostats in the house, and they're working great. I love the way they look. I love the integration with Google Home, being able to ask the assistant to change the temperature. You can go onto the app and change the temperature from there. Really cool. I like the smart home stuff. But I'm really interested in seeing next winter if I'm getting any savings on my heating oil usage. So I guess it was a good thing that I did get a winter in the house with the traditional thermostats to kind of get a baseline of my usage. And then next winter, we'll see what kind of savings we get with these. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I do have some other projects that I'm working on around the house. I'm putting a flagpole out front. I'm also going to be installing some security cameras here in the near future, so stick around if you're interested in seeing those. We will catch you next time. Till then, live life and have fun out there.